have a dead ass serious question, G. Why is pussy the fucking gift and reward for everything? Huh? Why is that the reward for everything? You feel me? I knew the dating pool was balled the fuck up when I found out little gestures can get you pussy. Like, ain't that shit supposed to be sacred? Y'all just passing that shit out like homework. Like, when did that shit become cool? What the fuck be going?
Now, before I get into this rant, you guys, you have to understand I'm not coming from a negative place or a disrespectful place. I understand there's great women out here who don't sell that kitty or even do things with their body. Same thing with the men out here. There's men out here who don't sleep around. I wholeheartedly believe that. I have friends that are like that. If you don't believe that, that's your tainted mindset, not mine. Don't put it on me. Here's my perspective. Since women were younger, all they've been taught was they're good for their bodies. I hope you know that. Every woman has experienced being with a guy who they went on a date with, and the guy saying, "You're not going to put out." Every woman has experienced having period cramps or feeling really bad and maybe depressed, and the guy saying, "Your mouth still works." We have also had situations where we try to go to a guy with our emotions and feelings, and he, tries to hold you and all that, but now he's putting his hands down your pants. Don't you ever think that women are conditioned and groomed to think that that's all a man wants is pee-pee? And then when men constantly cheat on women all the time, don't you see what he wants is the pee-pee? Follow me. So now, what women are doing now, especially, look at them. They might as well just throw it back because they're not getting anything out of the relationship. There are so many women right now who are good wives, good mothers, and they still get cheated on. This is not all men that cheat and not all women cheat, but it happens. So this is why women are conditioned to go, what is the point of being a good woman? What is the point of showing my attributes when all he wants is the puss anyway? And then when you watch so many of these videos and these podcasts of men telling on themselves, what do they always say in the podcast? That women aren't good enough, or take away sex and you'll see how boring women truly are. You guys tell on yourselves by saying this. Now, I personally believe that everybody should be careful when it comes to their privates and stuff like that because of soul ties, but I can't control what women do with their kitty cat. But I'm just giving you a different opinion. The same way men get used for their money, women get used for their body. I can't tell you how many times I try to just like a guy and then him say something nasty about me when I'm fully clothed. I've never just given it up, not my cup of tea. But I'm just saying, in general, do you guys not see why women are like this now? They're playing the same game men started. Yeah. So I really feel like men should get to a point where they should just look at women in a different light. And then women should also respect themselves enough to not do that. I'm not solely blaming men, but if you ever watch Andrew Tate's videos, he talks about this all the time. Men lead, women follow. Lead with chivalry. Give women something to learn from you and vice versa. And like I said, with social media being the biggest platform of everything, most women now are going to try to sell their body or give up their cat because they feel like that's the only form of intimacy they're going to get. Let's look at this psychologically. Why do men sleep around so much? There's a void you're trying to fill. Yes, men cheat and yes, men sleep around for satisfaction, but they also can't go to somebody and say, hey, let me get a hug. So what's the closest form of intimacy? Sex. So what do you think women are doing? You don't think women are hurting just as much as y'all? I could be by myself, y'all, and hurt. I'm hurting now. I'm sad, I'm hurting now. But I don't need to give my poom poom up because I know if I do, I'm going to be sad after because there's nothing for me in the end. I want to be held and cherished and loved. But see, young women don't know this. And when women aren't taught things and they become hypersexual, they're going to keep doing these type of things until they learn. I hope this helps. And again, this is no slander. I'm not trying to blame men. I'm not trying to blame women, but this is a domino effect, you guys. And again, you never know how women were raised. You don't know what their mothers were teaching them. I was raised by grandparents. My grandparents weren't teaching me pass that cat and pop that pee-pee. That's why I feel like I struggle in the dating game and I'd rather just pull away because it just seems like people ain't ready for all that. I'm cool. So I want to know your guys' perspective and I want to know what you guys think. That's my perspective though. And then one of the things I do want to add that I forgot to say is there are some women out here who have nothing else to offer. Like, and I don't mean this rudely, but there's women who can cook, who can clean, who could pour life into you, who could take care of you. Not everybody has those type of qualities. So when a woman knows she doesn't have that type of quality, she's going to lure you in with sex and be very sexual. That's why I always tell men as well, control your lust, because you can come across the wrong type of woman, the woman who's trying to give you her pee-pee too soon. That's not a good quality. I don't know what it is why people say this. We're grown, let's just sleep around and all that. Cool. And then when you're sitting there doing this, racking up bodies, tell me how you feel later down the line. Tell me if this is fulfilling to you. Again, I'm not trying to be judgy. You do what you want with your privates, but how is that fulfilling to you? I see so many women time and time again on these apps crying about, oh my God, he left me. Oh my God, he doesn't want me, because you thought the poom poom was going to get you to the final destination and it didn't. So again, every woman has a different mindset. Everybody does things for different reasons. But I truly believe that a lot of women sometimes need to learn to have other qualities to maintain things instead of just their privates. Especially if you're going to be sleeping around with men, don't go boohooing and crying when they leave your ass. Because you should know, everybody, especially women, always say that's all men want is the poom poom. So why give it to them so easily? Why are you guys still doing that type of stuff if you know this about men? Like, I know how men are. I have 5 brothers and I have a dad. That's why I don't be doing that shit. I tell a guy straight from the jump, I don't want that type of stuff. And if he's going to dump me or say, oh, I'll find a girl who's going to give it to me right away, cool. By all means, go do that. And let's see if she's giving it up to everybody else around you, because that's the type of woman you want. I don't understand that. And again, I always laugh because men will always say, you look like a 304, you are a 304. And then they don't get to hit or they never get to fuck you. Who was lying? Exactly. Now you know how the rest of them are treated. Like nothing. Move along. I personally think that a lot of women should treat their privates and treat themselves with sacred, measures. You guys should care about that type of stuff. Because like I said, pregnancy is going to be real hard on you guys. And what happens if you get pregnant on a one-night stand? Or what happens when a guy leaves you and ghosts you? You're not going to like it. Be very mindful of the things that you do now. Because like I said, the repercussions to these type of things, they ain't worth it to me.